Assalamu alaikum. Mr. Moderator, our distinguished guests, brothers and sisters, our friends and our enemies. Everybody is here. As many of you know, last March, when it was announced that I was no longer in the Black Muslim movement, it was pointed out that it was my intention to work among the 22 million non-Muslim Afro-Americans and to try and form some type of organization or create a situation where the young people, our young people, the students and others, could study the problems of our people for a period of time and then come up with a new analysis and give us some new ideas and some new suggestions as to how to approach a problem that too many other people had been playing around with for too long. And that we would have some kind of meeting and determine at a later date whether to form a black nationalist party or a black nationalist army. There have been many of our people across the country from all walks of life who have taken it upon themselves to try and pool their ideas and to come up with some kind of solution to the problem that confronts all of our people. And tonight we are here to try and get an understanding of what it is they've come up with. Also, recently, when I was blessed to make a trip or a pilgrimage, a religious pilgrimage to the holy city of Mecca, where I met many people from all over the world, plus spent many weeks in Africa, trying to broaden my own scope and get more of an open mind to look at the problem as it actually is. One of the things that I realized, and I realized this even before going over there, was that our African brothers have gained their independence faster than you and I here in America have. They've also gained recognition and respect as human beings much faster than you and I. Just 10 years ago on the African continent, our people were colonized. They were suffering all forms of colonization, oppression, exploitation, degradation, humiliation, discrimination, and every other kind of Asian. And in a short time, they have gained more independence, more recognition, more respect as human beings than you and I have. And you and I live in a country which is supposed to be the citadel of education, freedom, justice, democracy, and all of those other pretty sounding words. So it was our intention to try and find out what was our African brothers doing to get results so that you and I could study what they had done and perhaps gain from that study or benefit from their experiences. And my traveling over there was designed to help to find out how. One of the first things that the independent African nations did was to form an organization called the Organization of African Unity. The purpose of our organization of Afro-American Unity, which has the same aim and objective, to fight whoever gets in our way. To bring about the complete independence of people of African descent here in the Western Hemisphere, and first here in the United States, and bring about the freedom of these people by any means necessary. That's our motto. The purpose of our organization is to start right here in Harlem, which has the largest concentration of people of African descent that exists anywhere on this earth. There are more Africans here in Harlem than exist in any city on the African continent, because that's what you and I are, Africans. The Charter of the United Nations, the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, the Constitution of the United States, and the Bill of Rights are the principles in which we believe, and that these documents, if put into practice, represent the essence of mankind's hopes and good intentions, desirous that all Afro-American people and organizations should henceforth unite so that the welfare and well-being of our people will be assured. We are resolved to reinforce the common bond of purpose between our people by submerging all of our differences and establishing non-sectarian constructive programs for human rights.
Welcome to All Things African, where we delve into the lives and legacies of influential figures who shaped the African and African American experience. Today, we explore the transformative journey of a man whose name resonates with empowerment, justice, and change. Malcolm X. Born Malcolm Little on May 19, 1925 in Omaha, Nebraska. His early life was marred by racial violence and economic hardship. The brutal murder of his father by white supremacists and his mother's institutionalization left Malcolm and his siblings in foster care. These experiences planted the seeds of his lifelong struggle for justice. In the late 1940s, while serving a prison sentence, Malcolm was introduced to the teachings of the Nation of Islam. Under the guidance of Elijah Muhammad, he transformed into Malcolm X, shedding his slave surname and embracing a new identity. Malcolm became a minister and spokesperson for the Nation of Islam, advocating for black self-reliance and separation from white society. Malcolm X's fiery and charismatic speeches captivated audiences and garnered media attention. He challenged the nonviolent approach of other civil rights leaders, asserting that African Americans had the right to defend themselves by any means necessary. His message resonated with many who felt disenfranchised and sought a more assertive path to freedom. In 1964, Malcolm X's journey took a profound turn when he embarked on a pilgrimage to Mecca. This experience broadened his perspective on race and unity. He witnessed Muslims of all colors praying together and began to advocate for a more inclusive approach to the civil rights struggle. He adopted the name El-Hajj Malik El-Shabazz and founded the Organization of Afro-American Unity to promote human rights for all oppressed people. Malcolm X's travels to Africa were pivotal in shaping his evolving political views. He made several trips to the continent, starting in 1959 and continuing until 1964. During these visits, he met with influential leaders and experienced firsthand the struggles and triumphs of newly independent African nations. In April 1964, Malcolm X visited several African countries, including Ghana, Nigeria, and Egypt. In Ghana, he met with President Kwame Nkrumah, a prominent advocate for Pan-Africanism. Malcolm X was deeply inspired by Nkrumah's vision of unity and self-determination for African nations. In Nigeria, Malcolm X was honored with the name Omowale, meaning the child has returned in Yoruba. This name symbolized his reconnection with his African roots and the broader African diaspora. His interactions with African leaders and students reinforced his belief in the importance of global solidarity among people of African descent. Malcolm X's travels to Africa also exposed him to the harsh realities of colonialism and imperialism. He drew parallels between the struggles of African nations and the fight for civil rights in the United States. These experiences helped Malcolm X transition from a black nationalist to a Pan-Africanist, advocating for a united front against oppression. Malcolm X's time in Africa was transformative, broadening his perspective and deepening his commitment to justice and equality. His journey to the continent remains a testament to the power of international solidarity and the enduring impact of cross-cultural connections. On February 21, 1965, Malcolm X's life was tragically cut short by assassins during a speech in New York City. Despite his untimely death, his legacy endures. Malcolm X's unwavering commitment to justice, his eloquence, and his transformation from a street hustler to a global human rights advocate continue to inspire generations. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the life and travels of Malcolm X. His story is a testament to the power of resilience, transformation, and the fight for justice. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe to All Things African for more in-depth explorations of influential figures in African and African American history.